Hey everybody, welcome to Teasing the NFL. I'm Daniel Saludo. I'm here with Andrew Chang.
We got it right this time.
Yeah, I did. I was really tired last week, and so wrapping it up made it a little more difficult. We'll see how long I last this week.
It's okay. I think we're in high spirits this week. If you've been following, if you've been watching, man, last week was good. I'm going to let Danny start with the recap.
Just good? That's it? Just
it was
good?
great. Phenomenal, guys.
Fucking great is what it was.
Go ahead. Take it away, Danny.
Yeah, so last week, week 16 was a really, really nice week for us. All 16 games were Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night. Yeah, brush it off.
Little Patrick Mahomes right there. Little shimmy. There we go. Go ahead.
Count to 10?
Count to 10?
Count to 10 plus? 10 plus?
There you go, dude. Oh,
all right,
great.
so yeah, really good teaser moves for us this week. Actually, overall, a lot of teasers hit because multiple teasers hit in a single game. There were 3 games that had all 4 teasers hit. So there was a really good week for us. So I went 13-3 this week, and Andrew went 12-4. That moves both of us up to 32-14 on individual teasers, okay? Now, on combined teasers, we both went with San Francisco last week. I went with Green Bay plus 15.5.
That was a nail-biter, San Francisco.
And he went with Buffalo Saturday at plus 12.5. We both hit on that, but ironically, excuse me, none of us bet those combinations. Actually, you did. You bet. Actually, let me rephrase that. I'm wrong. So, again, this week we went in together on not 1 bet, not 2, not 3, 4 bets. No, sorry, 3 bets. No, I miscounted. That's 3 bets.
We always talk about America. All he knows is that we want some money.
Some money. We want a good amount of money.
It was great. The strategy was that we took the Saturday games first. So
we took them in blocks, and that's what I personally usually do. He'll sometimes bet across different times. I will too on occasion. So we both bet Buffalo plus 12.5. Now I originally was thinking if going back to my stats, I actually picked New England.
You did.
New England's line actually got moved up a point to minus 1.5. However, what changed is that I read that Julian Edelman was not 100%. So when I read that, I said, hey, they don't have a really good other option at receiver. So, hey, Andrew, guess what? I'm jumping on your line.
Hey, there we go. I was like, oh, man, someone's going to bet against Tom Brady with me? Come on in.
I've done it like 5 times this year now, dude. I've done it like 5 times this year. And you're the one that's scared to do it.
Let me get this out of the way first, America. Burger King did not sponsor this show, they didn't have a crown for Danny, but Danny won our fantasy matchup. There it is right there.
Yeah, that's right. King me, baby.
Post edit that. Do something. I don't know. Put something over your head.
But, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
We all know I reign supreme.
Congratulations. He beat me by like 6 points. Dude. Aaron Jones.
I beat you like by 15.
Oh, 15? Whatever.
Aaron Jones did me really well.
Oh, that's
no
terrible.
Doubt.
But he is but basically it was a great week for us. We ended up winning.
You're right. I beat you by 7.
Yeah.
6.5, 7.
I told you.
6.5, 7.
I would have put in Larry Fitzgerald. Oh, going into Larry Fitzgerald's performance, I'd like to talk about the Seahawks. That I think
that almost killed me right there.
That kind of blindsided everybody.
That's why we didn't bet that game anyway.
I had that wrong with Seattle. I thought that was a no-brainer. I was totally wrong.
It probably would have been different if both of their running backs and Dwayne Brown didn't get hurt.
Yeah,
so
okay,
that happens. Things are going to happen in the NFL that, especially when you're betting, it's a variable game. So changes are going to happen. Things are going to happen. You never know who's going to get hurt, who shows up to a game.
Oh, but the Eagles.
What creature shows up on the field,
yeah. But hey, those Eagles, man. How do you like that, Danny?
I should have had. We actually should have had 4 bets out.
We should have.
We only put 3 out because somebody got scared. Me. I got scared and I got worried for some dumb reason. So let's break down what we had. So in Saturday, we both picked Buffalo and San Francisco. San Francisco was like little scary there.
That was a nail biter.
I was texting you. I'm just like, dude, San Francisco. Where the F is San Francisco? Dude,
like,
they are not showing up.
I was like, Danny, don't worry about it. It's our no sweat bet. Like, unless a freak accident occurs, we're not gonna lose.
I was sweating hard. I was just like, man, they better.
We didn't lose. We didn't lose. So there you go.
Yeah. So that happens. Going into Saturday, we took both New Orleans and Baltimore. Now Baltimore was a big gimme. We got 4.5 on Baltimore, and then we got. I made the move for New Orleans immediately. The reason why is because when Tennessee had read the news that they weren't, regardless if they had won or lost, nothing was going to change. So they sat people like Derrick Henry, Adoree Jackson, and one or two other players that needed the rest. So I said I got to jump on New Orleans because without Derrick Henry, they're really only running Dion Lewis and whoever the heck their third running back is. And then having Tannehill air it out, which they were having some success in.
He was still scared, America. He was texting
New Orleans got it. New Orleans got it. New Orleans got it after the first quarter. They started picking it back up. So that's the reason why I went with that. And then we went with the prime time teasers. We went with KC, got that at -1. Easy
Patrick
money.
Mahomes,
Easy
dude.
money. Easy money. And we took Green Bay at +11.5. Easy money.
I think I can speak for Danny that the only regret this week that we didn't do is take Green Bay money line. That was...
Yeah, okay, so there's two regrets that we have. We were both thinking about taking Philly and linking that to the Sunday night game with KC. I got a little scared because I didn't realize how bad the injury was for Dak. And I really didn't know that Amari Cooper was having issues as well. So... his favorite saying is "scared money don't make money." Well, yeah, I got scared and I didn't make $100 there.
And I was already kind of like I was in the green already.
We were both in the green.
We were just like,
okay, this is good.
We don't need to bet these games.
But I kept telling him, I'm like, I need justification in case for Monday night if I want to play the money line, I need another $100 for that money line.
Yeah. Could have been yours, but could have, should have, would have. But
it could have been. I was texting him on Monday night up until about 6:30. Right, it's like, dude, this money line feels good, right?
Yeah.
This money, but I think the money line fell because it was at 210 Sunday, and it fell
to like 180.
To 180. Yeah. I don't know. You didn't give me the number. I don't know if you were able to get the number on it.
Yeah, we were kind of busy that day.
Yeah,
but...
so I was just like, all right, whatever. If I lose, I lose. It's okay. I mean, we made $300.
He's a baller. He made the money already. So
we made $300, so it was fine. So it was really good success. So we are moving on to week 17, and week 17 is a huge variable because there are a lot of teams out there either not playing for anything or they don't have a reason to play, i.e. Baltimore, and they can play all their backups. So you ask a lot of sports bettors and sharps, and they have a hard time handicapping week 17. And I told him this last week. I said, this is going to be tough. There are a lot of people who don't bet week 17 or put very, very few bets out there. I like the idea of still trying to get a bet out there, but I'm trying to find the best value. But I told him, I said, there's a really good chance most of my best teaser bets here are going to be overs.
Oh, yeah. So. And to which I responded I made my money last week, so I'm going to do, obviously we're going to do the best we can too.
I feel like if we don't put a bet out there, at least one, we're not doing any viewers a disservice. So I feel like we have to put one out there. Maybe we'll just split like $100 bet or something.
Yeah, but you know what? It's hard to say.
There's a couple pretty good values out there, I feel like, and we'll run through them here. So we'll start with the first noon game here. This is Cleveland at Cincinnati, AFC North. Cleveland is at -3, and your total is at 44. Teasing moves Cleveland down to +3, and Cincinnati gets moved up to +9. Your teaser gets moved down. Your over gets moved down to 38, and your under gets moved up to 50. This is a spot Cleveland should win because it is Cincinnati, And Cincinnati doesn't really have anything to really play for now because they've already secured the first overall pick in next year's Joe Burrow draft, if you want to call it that. So it feels like Cleveland should win this. And teasing them over over -3 to +3 through the 0 is not a bad choice here, but I actually like the over in this game because 38 is really feasible.
What? The over on this one?
38, dude. Think about 38, the number 38. Okay?
Okay. Think about
21-18 wins you this teaser.
Think about how bad these teams are.
Yeah, that means no defense equals lots of offense.
Or terrible offense that leads to nothing.
They're not that terrible. This isn't the Steelers we're talking about. Andy Dalton can still air it out. Nick Chubb's a fucking beast, and he'll run it.
Oh yeah, because he did so well last week.
He got 100. He had 100 plus yards.
What are
They didn't score a touchdown. Kareem Hunt took the touchdown.
Hey, yeah. But still, wow, you like the over on this?
Yeah. 38, 21-18 gets you this. 20-18 is one away. 21-18 gets you this, and you can easily hit 21. If you look at last week's results for both teams, let's see.
Oh man, I don't know. I think I thought I liked the under at 50.
Ugh.
This
game could easily be like 21-30.
No. What? 21-30? Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it happening. So I'm going to say the under.
You take the under? I'm going to take the over in this. I'm going to take the over in this. I wouldn't be against taking Cleveland at +3 either, but man, that team is so Jekyll and Hyde that, Cleveland beat them pretty handily last time, but at the same time, they didn't really show up to the Baltimore game. So that's what makes me worry. So under, over. Okay, moving on to Chicago at Minnesota. Minnesota here is at -1, and your total is 37. Chicago moves up to +7, and teasing Minnesota moves you up to +5. Your over gets moved down to 31, and your under gets moved up to 43. It is pretty much confirmed, although it's not 100% confirmed, at least from what I've seen, that Kirk Cousins is not playing. So they're going to play Sean Mannion in this game. I mean, it makes sense because they're not playing for anything. They can't win the North anymore. They can't get out of the 6th seed. So this is all that they can do is just rest their players, and you don't have a real reason to play them.
What's Chicago's situation besides having terrible?
Nothing. They're just
everything?
playing. They're gonna play. They're gonna play all their starters. They're gonna see where they're at. Is my guess, anyways. But I have a hard time trusting Mitchell Trubisky, regardless of who they're playing. I mean, he can have a great game, but he can also have a terrible game. He was terrible against KC. You and I both watched that game. He was not good against KC.
That's right. Well, he's just not good, period. I just thought it was awesome that they literally showed the side-by-side comparison because they were the same draft class. It was just like...
Yeah, but it was taken like 10 picks later.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Terrible.
So you are...
I'm taking the over.
Oh, wow.
31 points.
Another total? Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on this. The reason why I'm taking the over on this is because with Minnesota resting so many starters, Chicago should have a chance to get some offense out there. And I feel like that's going to lead them to get around 20 points. And then you're only asking Chicago to pick up another 13.
Well, Danny likes the total on this one. I actually kind of like Minnesota at +5.
I don't. If I'm going to take a plus, I'm going to take Chicago.
Oh.
The reason why you take Chicago at the plus is because you tease them over the 6.
I mean, yeah, but...
And they'll actually be playing starters, unlike Minnesota.
But their starters are garbage anyway.
True. But still, I mean, they are not... If I'm going to pick a pair to win this, it's got to be Chicago.
I'm actually so worried about where I stand with Danny's records and picking all these teasers because now I'm just like, all right.
We're even on picks right now.
Because of these situations that, these people don't need to play. Oh, well, we don't need to win. And it's just like, all right, well, you're going to do a disservice to your fans.
There's two sides to that. There is, I'm playing the backups who are not very good. They're backups for a reason. The other side of that is, hey, these are backups, and this is like really the only time that they're going to shine. So there's a feeling that a lot of backups play their hearts out, and it happens pretty often. Yeah. Now, they may not be up to standard against a starting side like Chicago, but they're going to come out and play. They're not going to just be like, oh, we're the backups, we're not going to do anything. Oh, yeah. No, they're going to come to play. No doubt.
Yeah, they're going to suit up and be like, hey, man, I'm going for that. Yeah. I'm going for that starting position.
So you really like Minnesota?
If Minnesota's at home, I'll take Minnesota.
All right, Minnesota it is for him. I'm taking the over on this. 31 is easy to get to, I feel like.
We shall see.
Yeah. All right, third game on the docket, moving to Atlanta at Tampa Bay. This is a pick'em right now, so both teams are at 0. Teasing either one gets you to 6. The over is 48. The over gets teased down to 42, and the under gets teased up to 52. So, Jameis Winston.
Interception machine.
4 interceptions. He threw an interception on his first throw.
That was awesome. It wasn't it was a pick 6 for his first throw.
That was ridiculous.
I was just like, wow.
I couldn't believe that. I actually missed it, but I saw the replay. I was like, wow, you did that in the first throw.
But the guy is still confident when he throws.
Yeah, because he figured it out later on, but the problem is, all you have to do is not make that many mistakes, and he's like a really good quarterback. He really is.
Against Matt Ryan. Your boy Matt Ryan?
Man, my boy Matt Ryan got me through. So there's a lot of people thinking that this game has shootout written all over it because neither's passing defense is any good.
Yep.
So that's why I'm taking the over.
I'm more inclined to agree after, this guy who's thrown 4 interceptions. He can still come back. He threw 3 touchdowns? Against
Did Rojo run it in or get it passed to him?
I forgot. But you know what?
It was 2 or 3.
The kid can throw, Matt can throw, and I think it will be a shootout for sure. 42.
There's going to be no running game in this.
Yeah, and 42, I think it's very...
Very, very doable.
Yeah, very doable.
21-21 is the tie, so 21-23 gets you.
Oh, 20. Yeah.
Yeah, or 20-24. That's very likely as well, or 20-23.
I like that, and these teams are just kind of like in the doldrums. They're just
they're playing, and of course I go back to what I said last week: is Atlanta is playing for Dan Quinn's job. They really like him as a coach, and so they are going to play their hardest.
Too bad the Cowboys can't say the same.
Yeah, we'll get to them later because that'll be interesting. Fourth game on the docket is the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Big number out here. New Orleans actually has to play this game. But we'll get to that in a second. New Orleans is minus 13 in this. Oh. Almost 2 touchdowns. Eesh. Well, and extra points. The over-under is 46. So Teasing gets New Orleans down to 7, which is a touchdown and an extra point. Carolina gets moved up to 19. Your over gets moved down to 40, and your under moves up to 52. If somehow I could get New Orleans to 6, I would really take New Orleans here because New Orleans is playing for the first round for the number 1 seed. There are 3 teams playing for the number 1 seed, and New Orleans is one of them. And they're the first team to play in the NFC, so that's playing for the number 1 seed. So they have to play to win. So they're not resting anybody. Alvin Kamara had a really, really good game last week, and
he'll have a really good game this week.
Yeah, he really should. Carolina doesn't have a defense that exists at all. So, I mean, I'm definitely taking New Orleans to be a favorite. There's actually quite a few sharps that are taking New Orleans at minus 13, just without a teaser.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the decision by Danny. I think I'm gonna go with him on New Orleans.
I didn't state what I'm taking, but he's taking.
Oh wow! Well, there you go. Well,
I said what I said is I'll take 6. Oh, if I can get 6, I would take New Orleans easily.
Dude, they're good. Carolina scored 3 points last week.
When? Last week?
Yeah,
they scored 13. C-Mac got me a touchdown.
Oh, okay, 13 points.
Yeah. So because of that,
new QB too, right?
Yeah, Will Greer, who's terrible. like I said last week, he didn't look good in preseason, thus he's not a good quarterback.
Oh, here it comes a total bet. Here
Here it comes. I'm taking the over on this because C-Mac is, unplayable almost, so he'll at least get a touchdown in, and New Orleans will get the rest of the scoring. So
Really?
there's my over.
Oof.
There's my over. 40.
Oh, I don't know, man.
This game could easily be, 10-31. Easily.
Well, hopefully
We'll see what happens. If the line moves somehow and I can get 12.5, I'm going to take it.
12.5.
Yeah. If it moves to 12.5, I get 6.5, I'm going to take it.
Ah, okay. I like that.
So.
Yeah, but man, like New Orleans and the over. Usually I wouldn't have a problem with this, but man, do they really need to score that much? I just feel that
they do. They just need to keep going. They're not gonna put the brakes on, unless they really blow them out, and then by the third quarter they may, go into cruise mode. But they should be outscoring them by then. I honestly, in every possession, New Orleans should score. Honestly,
every drive I think is
and their defense is good enough. They could also get like a pick six or a fumble six or something.
Ooh, I would like that because I'm the one that's taking New Orleans.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm not against it. It's a good choice. I'm just not the biggest fan of the number 7. That's my thing. So, moving on, we have the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills, AFC East. The Jets are, Buffalo is minus 1.5 favorite. The New York Jets get moved up to 7.5, and Buffalo gets moved down to plus 4.5. Your over/under is 36.5. So your over moves to 30.5, and your under moves to 42.5. I think you're gonna be surprised at who I'm choosing here.
Oh, you said who?
Yeah,
It's probably the Jets.
Yeah, I'm picking the Jets.
What a dummy.
What
a digital dummy.
Excuse me.
Right.
There is a certain team in this matchup that's not playing for anything because they secured the 5th seed. They don't have to start anybody, which means most likely Matt Barkley starts for the Buffalo Bills. Ooh. He's not a bad quarterback. He's a good backup, but that's it. But, man, New York, the New York Jets.
It's the Jets.
No, but they kind of started putting things together a little bit. And I'm not asking New York to win the game. I'm asking them to lose by 7, which is very likely.
Okay, well, I can see that. That and a couple weeks ago, I was the one that said, dude, the Jets. The Jets against the, what was it, the Steelers?
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
You got that right. Of course, I got it wrong.
Yep. But, man, okay, well, Buffalo doesn't have to play for anything.
Yeah, you took it at plus 9.
I don't like 7.5.
I do.
They should have more points.
No, the opening line, I think, because of the result before the result last week, the opening line was like Buffalo 3.5, I think. So getting 1.5 is still fair in my opinion. I don't know how the scoring is going to go in this, so that's why this is one of the few games I'm staying away from the totals. 30.5 sounds really great, but I don't know if you realize this, but both of these defenses are actually really good.
Yeah, well,
legit good.
They can stop the Jets can stop the run just like they did with
Buffalo can too.
Yeah, with the Steelers.
Yeah. But Buffalo has a very good secondary. For Davius White. Yep.
Oh yeah, but the under, I don't like that either. I mean, you know what?
42 is not a lot of points, and if this offenses somehow start clicking, your under is going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
21-23 it kills the under.
God, the Jets though. And
Darnold knows how to figure it out. Gase is starting to figure out what he can actually do with his personnel. So,
and Buffalo's at home.
Yes, but you know my opinion about home.
Mm-hmm. And you know how I stand.
So wait, what are you taking then?
I'll still take Buffalo.
You take Buffalo? Okay.
I'll still take Buffalo. Right. Buffalo at plus 4.5.
Now that's nice because it gets you over a field goal.
Yeah.
That was what I was originally thinking, but man, if I'm expecting this game to be close, I'm going to take the starting lineup. I'm going to take the team who's starting all their starters, so that's going to be the Jets.
It's not a bad bet.
All right, the other game in the AFC East is Miami at New England. New England is a big favorite at 16. Your total is 45, so Miami gets moved up to the insane score of 22. That's over 3 touchdowns. My New England gets moved down to -10. The over gets moved down to 39, and your under gets moved up to 51.
Oh.
Would you like to take New England at -10, sir?
No.
Would you like to take Miami at +22?
Yes. It is. This week is.
You know they like destroyed them early in the season.
I realize.
You know that, right?
I realize that. But man, I just feel that Miami has nothing to play for. They're just dead last. Oh, I don't know.
They're not dead last.
Yeah,
That's Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I mean, they're on the bottom. And God, I just first of all, I'm putting myself in front of Tom Brady again. And I feel that 22. That is such a wow. That's
touchdowns.
That's a great number to have.
That's 3 touchdowns and 1 2-point
you
conversion.
won't even be sweating when it's 14-0. It's just like
I would.
I
would because it's like 14-0 in the first 10 minutes. You're just like, oh shit.
I mean, okay, yeah,
Shit.
I can see that, but you know when
because they could easily kill them like they did the Jets, 33-0.
Yeah, but then you know what? They're gonna, of course, rest their star players.
No, New England has to play because if they lose and KC wins, KC jumps to the bye in the second seed, so they have to play to win.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not gonna win, but I'm gonna say that they're not gonna beat the Dolphins by 22 points. I don't think so. I know it's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm just on my high from last week, but yeah, I feel like Miami they've gotten a little better.
See, these are the inflated spreads, and this is a case of, you definitely want to take this big number of 22, but I feel like the safest number bet to take here is over 39. We've seen how much Miami likes to score. They like to air it out. Obviously, they don't have a defense, so New England can take some kind of advantage of that. So my pick here is the over 39.
I mean, yeah, that's a good bet too, but God,
I mean,
22
for me,
points,
yeah, I know,
man.
but Miami for me is like 1B, and a very close 1B at that. Because, I mean, the only thing I worry about is them getting shut out, like legitimately shut out to like 3 points.
Oh, man, I just
30-3 and you're dead. You know that, right?
I realize that. And
you're gonna feel like, oh my God, that 22, it was so big. How did 22 not hold up?
I'm not surprised because we had a New England teaser line against the Jets, which
was 33-0.
33-0. And what, Tom Brady had to win by, I think it was 13.
9. No, it was 9.
It was 9?
Yeah.
So we teased it down to 9? Or?
We teased it down to 9.
Okay, yeah. So basically it was
something like that.
14-15, minus 14-15 for the Patriots. And I was like, okay. And we teased it down to, kind of like,
we got it to a single digit. The reason why I said it was safe is because we got it under a single digit. Right. You can't do that here at 10. If this thing fell to 9, if somehow New England falls to 9, then jumping.
I'd get on New England.
Then I'm jumping on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 10 is like a touchdown and a field goal and they just cruise. That's my worry about it. And unfortunately, New England's shown that their offense is just not as potent. And you have to remember, defense was winning them all of those points.
And Fitzmagic is gonna pull something.
Well, that's the one thing. That's the one thing. That's the one thing you can bank. You have. Let me just say that it's amazing Fitzmagic hasn't become Fitztragic yet this season.
Don't jinx it really has. Damn, dude.
It's not wood,
Oh, well.
It hasn't happened yet. I mean, there's a chance it might not happen at all. This could be like his first solid season. So, I like the over in this, and you're gonna take that big 22. I don't blame you. I really don't.
Gotta take Miami. I feel good about it. I really do.
All right, moving to the NFC North, we have Green Bay at Detroit. Green Bay is also a big favorite, 12.5. 12.5 for Green Bay. Your total is 43. Green Bay teases down to 6.5. Detroit teases up to 18.5. That's two touchdowns and a field goal. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal right there. Oh, your over teases down to 37. Your under teases up to 49. This line was originally Green Bay, I think 11.5. I would have been all over that because that would have teased me down to -5.5. But I kind of knew that they were going to move up. And again, this is another game where Green Bay has to play because they're playing, theoretically, they're playing for the #1 overall seed in case both San Francisco and New Orleans lose their game. So they have to play. I mean, they're playing for a bye. So even if one of them loses, Green Bay will have a bye. So 6.5 is not a number that I like personally. Now, they should dominate this game, which is why they're a 12.5-point favorite in this. But, man,
Really?
Rodgers could be like, oh, cool, I scored my touchdown. All right, cruise mode. Here you go, Aaron Jones. Just you don't have to hit the end zone. Just burn some clock.
Burn some
Seriously.
clock, get a field goal, no touchdowns.
I think they barely beat them like 3 weeks ago.
Barely.
Yeah, I think they beat them by less than a touchdown 3 weeks ago.
So do I hear you taking Detroit?
No, I'm taking the over.
Oh, that's a good one. I was just about to say I like the over a little bit because
It's a shootout. It's going to be a big shootout.
Yeah, I feel like, and something so close, if the game was going to be close, yeah, I could go for the over on this game, for sure. Doing a little research.
Yeah, I'm trying to see when. Oh, never mind. That was a different game.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's okay.
Bam.
Yeah, that's a different game. Anyways, Green Bay has to play for this, so they're going to have to put up points and score here, which is why I think the over is good here. I think Detroit's good for 10 points, 13 points. Green Bay just has to cover the rest of it.
Yeah, I think, man, oh my God, 37. Oh God, how bad are the Lions, dude? How bad are
21-17 gets you.
Yeah, I realize
21-17 gets you there.
I'm concerned that they can't even get to 17.
I really think they just need to get to 10, and Green Bay gets to 28.
And Detroit's at home.
Yes. So there you go. You know, Kerryon Johnson's playing again, right? Oh my God. Played last game. They're still going to monitor his touches, but they actually have a run game again.
Well, it looks like it's going to be the over on this game.
Yeah. Over 37 is a really nice bet here.
That's right.
All right, final game of the early afternoon is the LA Chargers at Kansas City.
Oh,
Kansas City today, about 5 hours from when we're shooting this right now, which is Thursday night, about 5 hours ago, Kansas City was still 8.5-point favorite up until then. And then it moved up to 9, and I cried. Because this would have been my no sweat bet. This would have been half of my no sweat bet.
you still don't want to take it?
I probably do in the end, but I'll go over a few things. So KC's -9. The total is 44.5. Chargers get moved up to 15, and Kansas City gets moved down to -3, which is a field goal. The over gets teased down to 38.5, and the under gets teased up to 50.5. So one of my worries in this game is the Chiefs just need to win, and if they realize that New Orleans is, if New England is just blowing out Miami, they just may say, forget it, I don't have to play anymore, and just give up at halftime.
You really think so?
Yeah, because they don't care if they're the 3rd or 4th seed. They really don't. So they're really playing to see if New England drops the ball and loses. If the New England game stays close throughout the day, Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, they're all going to stay in the game because they're going to feel like they have an outside chance to get the 2nd seed. So that's why they're going to have to play. But the problem is they're going to drop off the second New England is ahead by more than 10 points. Like in the second half, they're gonna drop off. I almost guarantee it.
No way. Well, Danny has that theory. I got another theory, America. You remember that swimmer who was looking back, always constantly looking back when he was racing Michael Phelps? Yeah, no one knows his name, but everyone knows Michael Phelps because why? He was just focused on winning. I don't think that this team is just gonna be like looking at the scores, but hey guys, like we're not gonna make it. Like we're just sit everyone down, this and that. No, I think they're still gonna play. I think they'll still win outright. However, I'm looking at this over total, which is a little interesting because the Chargers can score And if
They
not,
really haven't shown it in recent weeks, though.
but
They
that's
have
okay
not been
too,
good.
because KC's defense, one of the most underrated defenses in the NFL to this day, I feel like they can get a nice little. I think at
Pick
least
six?
one pick six.
Pick six? Okay.
Pick six from
I understand it.
Mr. Phillip Rivers.
So what are you liking most here then? Which side?
I still got to take
KC -3?
KC -3 for sure. And the Arrowhead Stadium, although that doesn't mean everything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Because I remember as a Texans fan, we came into that house and we beat KC, which
Yes.
I was
Correct.
super surprised.
Well, Mahomes was still coming off his injury, and they figured out that running the ball against KC is the best way to beat them, because that means, less time for Mahomes to be on the field, and KC's run defense wasn't that good. Now they've improved a lot more since then, so I worry about the game just staying close, because once New England gets ahead, which I'm really expecting them to get far ahead, KC's going to be like, we don't have to play anymore. All the backups will go in. So I'm taking the over on this, 38.5.
Should have a prop bet for that, but we won't. So the over.
The over 38.5 is really nice. I mean, KC is a 1B for me. And if somehow the line falls to 8.5, yeah, I'm jumping all over it. If the line falls to 8.5, I'm going to get 2.5, which is under a field goal. I'm going to take it.
All right, for sure. Yeah, but I think I'm sticking with my guns and going Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, both of them
baby.
should be the two safe bets on the side. So those are the two to go with. All right, late afternoon games. First game is probably the most important game. The second most important game on the entire NFL week 17. This is Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee actually in the past, 8 hours got moved from 3 and is now 3.5. 3.5 point favorite.
What?
Yeah. So your Tennessee line moves to 2.5, and your Houston line moves up to 9.5. Your total is 45.5, and your over teaser gets moved up to. Your over teaser moves down to 39.5, and your under teaser moves up to 51.5. So Bill O'Brien said this ridiculous thing. He says, "Well, we're not really playing for much, but we're coming out to play, so we're going to play our starters." I don't buy it.
What? Wait, hold on, wait. So what? So even if we lost as Texans, we wouldn't lose anything though.
Correct. We would hold the 4th seed. The only way we improve is if KC loses and we win, then we move up to the 3rd seed. And moving up to the 3rd seed would likely mean they play Tennessee.
Oh, which they can beat.
Yeah,
which
again,
they will beat.
But they're either going to play Tennessee. They're either going to play Tennessee in this order. They're going to play Tennessee, who's the favorite. The second is Steelers, and then third, and a very long third, and I'll explain it later, is Oakland still has a chance to get into the playoffs. I'll tell you that scenario in a bit. So I think Bill O'Brien's bluffing when he says, yeah, we're going to play most of our starters. Can you imagine what happens if D-Hop gets hurt, if Watson gets hurt?
Well,
they'll fire him immediately.
Hold on, wait a minute. What's the status on JJ Watt?
He's not coming back till mid-playoffs. He's not coming back this week, that's for sure.
Well, that's still okay.
If it's true and I find out that Houston is playing every single starter, I may jump on the Houston side, because 9.5 is a nice number.
It is.
Yeah. But I fully predict that they're not going to play all their starters at all, because that's got to be one of the dumbest things you can do is, we're not really playing for anything, so let's just put all of our starters out there and get them in danger of getting hurt.
Danny, I don't know if you watched a lot of Texans football, but we're kind of known for some pretty dumb
things. Yeah, I know. And
so,
Bill O'Brien's, and that's what I said. I mean, it's hard to believe Bill O'Brien, but it's somewhat believable considering some of the choices he's made this season. So
yeah. I'll have a prop bet. The first Texans play will be a run play.
Don't care.
That's the prop bet.
Do not care.
Every time.
All right, so where are you at?
Oh, I've got to go with the H-Town line, 9.5. We can lose by 9.5. Oh, yeah, I'll take Houston.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Let me guess. The over?
Yeah. I'm taking so much over.
How did I know, America?
You have no idea. Because from my perspective, if you're playing a lot of backups, that means teams open up. And that means offenses open up more, and that lends more to the over. That also means offensive backups don't do as well, i.e. turnovers. So that's why I'm throwing out a lot of overs in this. Here's the other thing. A lot of these overs are all under 40 points. 39.5 in this game, 38.5 in the KC LA game, 37 in the Green Bay game, 39 in the New England game. The only one that's, New Orleans is 40, very hittable. The only one that's not, Atlanta and Tampa Bay, but I'm predicting that to be a shootout anyway, so 42 is not much different.
Right.
So all of these are under, 40 is somewhat considered a key number in totals. So once it goes under 40 for me, I really start thinking about if I like the over.
That's about 3 touchdowns per team, 21-21.
Exactly.
It's your 42.
Yeah.
That's enough points.
So that's generally what I'm looking at. And 39.5 is very doable here. And if somehow he says he's going to start them, the over is going to hit for sure, but I'm jumping on Houston at 9.5.
But wait, didn't you just say that Derrick Henry wasn't going to play?
No, he is. He didn't play last week. They purposely rested him because he had some kind of leg injury. He probably could have played last week, but because they weren't playing for anything, they rested him, gave him an extra week and said, get as healthy as you can. We're going to need you for week 17, the big one. Mm-hmm. So if Houston doesn't start all of their starters, are you still taking Houston? If they go with nothing but backups, I don't even know who the backup quarterback is.
Isn't that Whedon?
That's terrible.
I mean,
that is terrible.
Look,
go.
I will still. I don't think. Okay, so if Bill O'Brien does this little weird thing, I think the half, he'll probably play them all the first half, and start of the second half, start cutting them on the bench.
Maybe. If this line moves down to Tennessee -3, I may take I may take the Tennessee teaser at +3.
What?
Yeah, I may, because I kind of expect Tennessee to win, but they can lose by a field goal. The losing by a field goal is an insurance for me.
I just don't buy it that we, as a Texan fan.
I do it all the time. I bet against Texans. That's
I know.
That's no problem. I bet with them too when the number's right, and the number's not going to be right here if they start all of their starters. Yeah, I'm going to run with 9.5. If they don't, and I get 3 on Tennessee, yeah, I'm going to move. I'm going to move to the Titans.
I'll still do 9.5, even if we're starting with a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great number to choose. I just feel safer on the Tennessee side.
All right, because I mean, if we switch to our I call them 2020 players. Because it's either the team is 20 points up or you're 20 points down.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, bring out your 20 players.
That's why the over works.
The over does work.
Yeah.
I like that too. That's my 1B, but I feel like Houston plus 9.5.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That should hit.
Definitely. All right, moving on. Second game in the late afternoon. Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Indianapolis is the favorite at 3.5. Your over-under is 43. Indy gets moved down to +2.5. Jacksonville gets moved up to +9.5. Teaser over gets moved down to 37, and your under gets moved up to 49. Yeah. Jacksonville, in this Indy-Jacksonville game is a bit curious because they are actually part of the Oakland decider if Oakland can, part of Oakland's tree of being able to make it in.
Both inferior teams in the AFC South.
Yeah.
I am going to guess that your bet will be the same as mine. And I'm going to say that it'll be the over.
Yeah, it's the over. 37. It's an over. I mean, Indy's going to play most of their starters, if not all their starters.
Marlon Mack, baby.
Marlon Mack should have a really nice game. Marlon Mack should have a really nice game, along with T.Y. Hilton should be getting a little bit healthier. Jacksonville is still terribly atrocious. Not a good team at all. There's actually a couple. There's actually
don't disrespect.
I doubt he'll ever.
Don't do that.
I doubt he'll ever watch this. But Marco D'Angelo, who said this is the best, this is one of the best teasers to take, is Jacksonville at 9.5. I think that's a terrible idea, sir, because you pick one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I'm calling you out.
So
that's right. Teasing the NFL.
You can tweet at me if you want.
That's right.
You can tweet at me.
Get at me on my handle.
I just disagree. I mean, Indy is a good team. They're not a great team. They're a good team. I mean, they fell out of the playoff contention a few weeks ago. And Jacksonville's just not good. That offensive line has major issues. That defense is non-existent. You'd have to give me Jacksonville at like plus 15 for me to take them.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, at least Minshew makes something happen on like Foles. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So 37, again, under 40. That's under 40 points. In this case, 20-18, 21-17 gets you there.
Yeah.
Very doable.
Yeah, I think so too. But just to say something, if Andrew Luck would have played this year,
they'd be in the playoffs.
They would be in the playoffs.
They would be in the playoffs.
They would
have not
be better than the Texans.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that.
They would be better than the Texans, and Tennessee would not be competing for a wild card. It would be Houston in the wild card.
Yeah.
Neither would be the Steelers.
Yeah, but if Andrew Luck, that changed the whole AFC South picture.
Changed everything.
To be honest, and because that defense was good.
It's very good.
And then you had Marlon Mack helping you out, and you're telling me Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton connecting on those big 1-2s is just.
And that defense is pretty darn solid.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett is not bad. He's just not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, but he's a system quarter. He works well in that system. Pretty well. He had his own injury issues, out for 2 games. T.Y. Hilton out for 4 games. Mack was out for 2 games. He doesn't have any other receivers outside of Zach Pascal.
I just find
Eric
it funny.
Ebron out. So, I mean, they had a lot of injury issues. Darius Leonard on the defense was out for 5 games. So it's just a lot of injuries caught up to him. They're kind of like in the Steelers position almost.
And 2 understudies of Tom Brady on that team.
Yeah.
Useless Brian Hoyer. Useless. And Jacoby Brissett.
Backup. Hoyer's a backup.
He's just a backup.
All right, third game in the late afternoon is Washington at Dallas. Dallas is the big favorite here at minus 11. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Total is 45.5. Washington gets moved up to 17, plus 17, and Dallas gets moved down to minus 5. Over gets moved up to 38.5, and your under gets moved down. Sorry, your over gets moved down to 38.5. Your under gets moved up to 50.5. I think you're going to be surprised at what I pick if you're not looking at it already.
Surprised. I hate it when you say the word surprise because now I'm just like, what is he going to pick? So let me look at this line first. Dude, there's no way you're going to pick Dallas.
No.
Okay, thank goodness.
2 weeks ago, yes.
No.
I'm a huge Dallas fader right now after last week. I'm fading them so hard, you have no idea. You're going to find out exactly how much I'm going to fade them here when we talk about this.
Well, you're going to take Washington at 17?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
2 touchdowns and a field goal? Absolutely. Dallas gave me no reason. There is no reason why Dallas should win by 17 points after last week's game. Cooper has injury issues. He wasn't even in on that last 4th down play. You know that, right?
Yeah,
he was not in on the last play. Dak Prescott easily has issues. He is not himself. The only person that they can depend on is Zeke. And for some reason, Jason Garrett doesn't know how to utilize him properly. The defense is not that good. Here's the upside to Washington. Washington no longer has to deal with Dwayne Haskins. They have Case Keenum, who is a much better quarterback.
Oh, my.
He is going to throw the mess out of Terry McLaurin. They are going to score. And there is a chance not only does Washington get covered by 17 points, there is a small outside chance that a certain team chokes under pressure at home because they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with the pressure. Their coach doesn't know what they're doing, and they can lose this game.
Danny, you're going in right now,
yes,
man. You are
I am absolutely going in on Washington. 17 points, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. You're telling me Dallas is going to win by 2 touchdowns and a field goal when they struggled. They struggled mightily against Carson Wentz.
The Eagles, baby.
They struggled mightily against them.
Oh, man. But I mean,
absolutely no.
I'm going to do the Jerry Jones and just leave right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, while Danny's going in on these Cowboys, he does make a lot of sense. I feel that God, wow, Washington plus 17. That's
That is
pretty,
a lot, dude.
That's
Dude,
a very hard number to turn
Think
down.
about it like this. Think about it like this. You like Miami at 22.
I do.
Okay,
Crazy.
subtract 5, that's 17. Right? Okay,
Right.
so if
And it's the Cowboys versus the Patriots.
So if you're worried about Miami, if you think Miami can lose by 22, there is absolutely almost 100% chance that Washington can lose by less than 17 against the hapless Cowboys.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you don't see them coming back in a big way and saying, "No, we still them boys." You don't see that at all.
No, and it doesn't matter, and it might not matter because if Philly wins their game, if they're ahead, it won't matter because if Philly wins, they're in. Philly's in winning in mode.
But yeah, so wait, so even if Dallas wins,
Correct. Philly held their own destiny. When it started 3 weeks ago, when Philly played New York, they held everything in their own hands. All they had to do was win 4 games. They are on the 4th game right now. Win out and they get in.
dude, I'm so glad that game we're gonna talk about is coming up next because, dude, Philadelphia. Oh my
All right,
God.
we're not there yet. We're on Washington and Dallas.
But you know what? I like that little speech. You got me so fired up that and the fact that Case Keenum will be throwing the ball now, I think the dynamic will be a little different. I don't think the Cowboys would be prepared for that. I also think there's way too much internal drama with that organization. It's like,
they don't know how to get things right.
Yeah.
Even if they win, they're gonna win by 10 at the most. They're not winning by 17. It's not happening.
I don't see a blowout.
Washington's defense is slightly underrated. Slightly underrated. They play the run decently, not bad in the corners. So
I'm just hoping you're right with Case Keenum.
the over's got a good chance to hit as well. 38.5. This is again under 40. 38.5 sounds pretty good. I like Washington so much. Guess how much I like them so much?
You're gonna take the money line.
Almost.
You gotta take the money line.
Yeah. 425. If
That's the money line?
Plus 425. That's where it stands right now.
Holy smokes.
I think Washington can win this. I really do. I think they have a legitimate puncher's chance to win this.
We'll see on Sunday. God, wow. I mean, money line, looking at that was almost reminiscent of Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey.
I think she was a bigger dog.
Oh, yeah, it was super. You know, if I would have just put $50 on that, it was
You probably would have gotten like 8-1.
astronomical.
I think you would have gotten like 8-1.
Astronomical. So for something like this, you know, we had a really good week last week. It's okay. You just go on there and say, why don't we put...
I could legitimately not choose a teaser and just be like, yeah, I'm going to gamble on Washington to win.
Yep, $50 here, $50
Yeah.
there, and if we win, that's
boom.
a lot of dough.
Yeah.
But
That's 200 plus for us.
in this case, I'll still take the points. The points look good. Washington coming out to, you know, I feel like Adrian Peterson is gonna.
Peterson's going to struggle a little bit. Dallas plays the run decently, so I think it's going to be a lot of case.
Are they good on RPOs?
They don't run a lot of RPOs. They're old school.
I think Shanahan will come up with something.
Yeah. All right, moving to the game you're excited about, which is the other NFC South game, Philadelphia at the New York Giants. Philadelphia is the favorite here at 4.5. Your total is 45. Philly gets moved down to plus 1.5, and New York gets moved up to 10.5. The over gets moved down to 39.5, and your under gets moved up to 51 points. Sorry. Over gets moved down to 39 points, and your under gets moved up to 51 points. I know you're going with Philly here.
No question.
Yeah.
No question. Win and you're in. These guys have found a way to win every single week. It is inexplicable. I think the last video I said so like 10 times.
Well,
we
didn't bet on them.
And we didn't bet on them. But I know for a fact
We totally should.
that New York just
They don't even care about choke. It's not about choking anymore. They're in rebuild mode. Choking doesn't exist when you're in rebuild mode. Calm down. Choking is what the Cowboys do.
Well, it was just this day. Oh, no, not this day. Around this time, 3 years ago, Deshaun Jackson.
Dude, it was more than 3 years ago.
Was it more than 3 years ago?
3 years ago, Deshaun Jackson was still playing on the Washington
Oh my God,
Redskins.
you're right. So it was
We're talking like
8 years ago.
7, 8 years ago.
Maybe 8 years. Oh yeah, that's
We're talking like 7 years ago, dude.
Sorry, America, I'm very old, but it was around that time.
You're younger than me.
Matt Dodge did not kick it to the side or all the way to the end zone. He kicked it into Deshaun Jackson's hands.
Who fumbled it and then
fumbled
still returned it.
And they all went like this, and he whoop, went through the middle. And it was the best thing I saw around Christmas. And I was like, wow. So, but
You know Deshaun Jackson's not playing.
He's
in
not
the game,
playing.
right? Just to let you know.
I understand that, and my boy Zach Ertz is not playing either. He's got those.
He's been listed as did not participate. There's a really good chance he doesn't play.
He's got some cracked ribs, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all got cracked ribs before, but
It sucks.
Yeah, it's not.
I had
fun.
something close to it.
That's right.
So, are you still taking Philly even with the Ertz list less?
Yeah, Dallas Goedert is awesome.
But that means they only have 2 people to throw to, really.
Aguilar's-
3. Aguilar is worthless. He's good for 1 reception and 1 drop.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't deny this Philadelphia team's grit to win. They got to win.
I don't doubt that, but I feel like the value is actually. This isn't what I'm picking, but I feel like the spread value is on the New York Giants.
I knew you were going to say that.
But that's not my pick. I feel like the spread value is on the New York Giants because I don't see them getting blown out by double digits.
I could see that, but there might
This is like a touchdown game. The last game was a touchdown, albeit it went into overtime, but the last game was a touchdown.
I mean, I can. You know what? If I was in the mood to make money, then yes, I could see me putting my money on the Giants at 10.5, plus 10.5.
Plus 10.5.
I think Saquon could probably have a big game. I think that. And is it DJ who's playing or Eli?
DJ is.
DJ is. Yeah. I mean, they're playing Flip Cup at a bar, so they had to feel good.
Yeah, they're feeling good.
Yeah. So, God, and the Giants are at home, and it wouldn't mean the win doesn't mean anything for the Giants, but seeing that
it's moral building for next season.
Right, more of a like, hey, this is our division
Well,
rival.
here's another thing. Teams love to play spoiler. They like to be the FU, haha, you didn't get him because of us. So they could do that. They could be a spoiler.
And they're in the same division too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's what you have to kind of watch out for. The Giants are at home too. But man, I just I think Philly is going to come out on this. I think they're just going to win. I don't know how much. See, now when you talk about the value, it's like, yeah, I kind of hyped up Philly a little bit, but
I think you hyped them up a little bit too much.
Yeah, man, but
I'll tell you what. I do think Philly wins this game, but the problem is I'm scared they're only going to win by a point. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what worries me. So my overall choice in this is actually over 39. I expect this game to be pretty high scoring. The last game was, and that was in the rain. If it's not raining, they're going to score more. Ugh. And Wentz also didn't show up for that game for the first 3 quarters. He woke up in the 4th quarter.
And he turned it on, baby. He turned it on.
If he stays awake, this game's going to get over 45 points.
I just don't see. See, this is where our jobs get really hard. We have all these.
This is why I don't do this full time.
All these biases. We have all these thoughts.
It's not a bias. Well, you have some bias.
Yeah.
I do too.
I like the Eagles, and they've won me a lot of money. I just feel that when we focus on this channel and we say value.
Yeah.
Yes, there's no denying the value is there at New York Giants.
New York Giants, 10.5.
I don't see this being a blowout game. I see it being kind of close, but I still see Philly winning.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's the point. The point of the teaser for us and what we feel like is that it's got to give you added value or it gives you insurance. So if you're expecting Philly to win, plus 1.5 gets you a win. And they can theoretically lose by 1 point, and so you're still safe. Mm-hmm. Not likely to happen because 1 point games don't happen very often at
Unless
all.
someone misses a field goal.
Yeah, misses an extra point. So which can happen. So if you feel like Philly's going to win, you can just tease past the 0 and just like, all right, just win me the game.
God,
It's no different.
I just want to be a better picker
Yeah,
than you.
yeah, I know, but we're tied. So we're gonna have some big difference this week.
Oh yeah, I feel it already.
But I feel like this game is gonna get over 39. I actually think the game's gonna get over 45 anyways, but 39 is under 40. It gets me under that number. Yeah,
You see it going over.
yeah. The last game almost went over 45. So
I don't like that, America. Usually when it's over, it's oh man.
I mean, I'm picking a lot of because I didn't pick a single under. So I expect quite a bit of scoring in a lot of these games. So 39 for me, and then you'll take Philly just to win or lose by a point.
I'm taking Philly. I'm taking Philly.
Moving to the AFC North, Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore. Pittsburgh is the favorite here because Baltimore is benching all of their starters. They've already announced that RG3 is going to start. Mark Ingram's not going to start. Nobody's going to start. Mark Andrews is not going to start. So the Steelers are actually the favorite here at -2. Your over-under is 37. Teasing moves the Steelers up to +4 and Baltimore +8. Your over gets moved down to 31 and your under gets moved up to 43. Go.
As much as I dislike RG3, I cannot see Pittsburgh winning at all. Even with Duck Hodges, is that
Duck.
Duck Hodges,
Who's terrible. I mean, he got benched last week for Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph looked like the second coming of Ben Roethlisberger compared to Duck last week.
Yeah, then he
That
got
was awful.
injured.
Then he got hurt. Then he got hurt on a botched snap. I was like, God, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I just and what is Baltimore home too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then this is kind of an easier pick for me. I just don't like RG3, but I feel that the Ravens will still just kind of they won't lose by a touchdown. They won't. I don't think so. It's not gonna happen.
I agree. I mean, Pittsburgh has not gotten any scoring. In the past 2 games, Pittsburgh has only scored 20 points in total. 10 points and 10 points.
He knows Juju's his boy.
Yeah, I didn't need him. I still won.
Oh damn! Oh, you gotta throw that on me.
Still won. I didn't need him.
all right,
I didn't need him.
all
I
right.
still won. So no, this game does.
Jerry Jones, man, I'm out of here.
Yeah, later. No, this game stays close easily, even with all the backups. Baltimore still is tough at home. Pittsburgh does not have the offense to get this thing going. If Mason Rudolph plays, yes, they would have a chance, but he's on IR. Duck Hodges is going to play. Do you know who the next quarterback is after Duck Hodges? You're never gonna know this. I'm just teasing you. It's Paxton Lynch.
Oh, that's where he went.
Yeah.
He did okay. He did okay during preseason with the
didn't.
Broncos.
No, he didn't. They cut him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They got Joe Flacco now. Whoop-de.
No, they got Drew Lock. They're super happy. They got somebody.
Drew,
worth
yeah,
having.
he's.
They got somebody worth having. Unlike
a little
him.
bit. I mean, but you know.
No, Pittsburgh is not good enough to keep this game over over double digits. If anything, Baltimore has a chance to win this game. So easily, your value here is Baltimore +8. Easily. And we're gonna move on because I'm scared my Steelers are gonna lose and not make the playoffs anyways.
Yeah. Fat chance.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the AFC West. Arizona at the LA Rams. This line is a bit of a question mark right now because we're not sure if Kyler Murray is going to play. He got hurt last game. So right now the line stands at the LA Rams, and there are actually several books that don't even have the numbers out for this. But the total consensus on a couple of books that do have it is the LA Rams at -4.5. Total being 45. So Arizona gets moved up to 10.5, and the Rams get moved across the 0 to +1.5. Your over gets moved down to 39.5, and your under gets moved up to 51.5. This is another game I'm taking the over, regardless of who's at quarterback.
Well,
Brett Hundley actually looked halfway decent subbing in. He's not going to
wait for Kyler Murray.
Yeah, for Kyler Murray.
Oh, dude, he was so terrible on
In Green Bay, yeah, I know.
The only reason why I remember Hundley is because that was the game Aaron Jones broke out.
Broke out, yeah.
Because this guy could not make any plays
Nope.
happen. Nothing. And he was just like, take this ball, take this ball, take this ball. And Aaron
He
Jones
happily
is,
did. He
yeah,
happily did.
Dude, Aaron Jones is going at it. Much like he's in a new organization, he's still
Oh, I didn't.
pretty garbo.
I have to take back what I said. I'm taking the Rams.
Oh, really? Well, that
I think I'm betting that Kyler Murray doesn't play.
even if he did, I would still take
No, I would worry if Kyler Murray played. Albeit I don't know what his health percentage is.
No.
The Rams may not be able to get enough pressure on him. So.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? No. The pressure's gonna be there.
They weren't that good the last game.
What, dude? What?
Keep going.
It was Rams against San Fran, right? Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago?
No, it was last week. It was on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a nail biter for us.
They got annihilated.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's because San Francisco's not as good as we think they are.
Oh, okay, but still.
All right, never mind. The Rams blew them out last time. Never mind.
Someone's on their heels, but yeah.
Well, that's why I'm taking the Rams. I expect them to win.
Great. I'm taking the Rams too. I thought that was a no-brainer bet right there.
The over is still likely to hit on this. 39. Again, you're under 40. Shootout possibility, especially with Kyler Murray.
Or they just don't get anything going against this.
Well, the over hit last time. It was 41.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
So,
But yeah, I feel like the Rams will pull out a win for this one, for sure.
all right, moving to Oakland at Denver. Denver is the favorite here at -3.5. Your over/under is 41. Oakland gets moved up to 9.5, and Denver gets moved across the 0 to +2.5. The over gets moved down to 35.5, and your under gets moved up to 47.5. Oh, the Oakland Raiders do have a chance at actually making the playoffs if Tennessee loses, if Steelers lose also, and if Jacksonville beats Indianapolis. I mean, sorry, if Indy beats Jacksonville.
Oh, I was about to
Yeah.
say, like, there was no
Sorry.
way then.
Sorry.
So,
But Tennessee's likely not losing their game, and the Steelers are likely not losing their game.
oh, well, that's our disagreement right there.
Yeah,
I think.
But there's no way. And of course, Oakland has to win.
Which I think, well, they might not win the game, but I think they'll win the line. I do like Oakland.
9.5?
Yeah, plus 9.5. Why not?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
But
Oakland could easily not show up, and Drew Lock has shown he can play.
ooh,
So it scares me a little bit, which is why I'm taking the over. 35 is a small number. And if it turns into an offensive shootout where Oakland's like, oh man, we got to score. Oh man, we got to score. And Denver's like, no, not on us. We're rebuilt. We're in rebuild mode, and we're going to keep improving. Shootout.
I like that. My boy Derek Carr.
20-16, 20-17 gets it.
Shout out to him, but I think they've got to. I feel like, okay, maybe Denver at home, defense is really good. Raiders just can't get anything going, but Drew Lock, man, is he the real deal?
Hard to say, but I mean, he's shown up pretty good. I mean, he didn't really show up in the KC game. It's a tough team to play, though. KC's really streaking right now.
In the snow.
Yeah.
That was probably his first
I think
experience
Locke
doing that, too.
is a very acceptable quarterback right now. I mean, I think he's right there with Derek Carr, to be honest.
Oof.
really think so.
He's still got a ways to go. But I think, Oakland.
He's going to have his chance to win this game. He really is. I mean, and win this game pretty
Denver
nicely.
playing for anything?
They're just playing to keep good camaraderie. They're not playing for anything, no, but they're just playing to play.
They're just playing to play. They love to play. And maybe Drew Lock will get some more playing time.
Yeah. No,
He's gonna get more playing time. But I'm taking Oakland plus 9.5. I like it.
All right. The last game is Sunday night. San Francisco 49ers
Oh,
at the
no.
Seattle
Oh, God.
Seahawks. The San Francisco 49ers are the favorite by 3.5 points.
Cut me off, man. I don't like this game at all.
Neither do I. The over-under is 47. Teasing San Francisco gets you moved across the 0 to +2.5, and Seattle gets moved up to 9.5. Your over gets moved down to 41, and your under gets moved up to 53. So, as we all know, Chris Carson is out. Rashard Penny is out. J.D. McKissic is out. Dwayne Brown is out. So, Seattle went to the well, went to the grave, or the retirement home, wherever you wanted to find him,
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
and grabbed Marshawn Lynch.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. What do you think about
Lynch
that?
is not going to make a difference in this.
Thank you.
Lynch is not going to make any difference in this. The only thing Lynch gives you is like respecting the run, and that's it.
My
That's
God,
assuming that's assuming he even gets a large amount of play. He may not get that much play at all because it's his first game back, and they got him back within 4 or 5 days. So
And this guy, and we're just like, oh
he was still pretty good last year until he got hurt.
I mean, the respect goes out to him, but you can't just come into the system again and just pick up where you left off. Especially
you kind
because
of can.
Well, I mean, because he went to Oakland, because he left Seattle, and then I just feel that he's been.
Well, the coaching staff is pretty much the same, so I mean, he's coming back into the same situation. It's not that big of a deal.
I just don't like. I'm here so I don't get fined. I don't like any of these lines here. If I had to choose, oh man, it is tough.
Painful, ain't it?
But I was
So a side note: this game earlier today was San Francisco -3.
wow. So the line's going up.
Yeah, the line has moved up to 3.5 now. That's mad.
I'm still going to go with the Seahawks.
9.5.
9.5.
I can't.
At home.
Can't.
Oh,
I
let's hear it,
can't.
Danny. Let's hear it, Danny.
They live and die on the running game, and with Dwayne Brown out, they lack blocking both in the rush and in the pass. So Russell Wilson is easily the second best quarterback in the league, but he's going to be running for his life.
Which he can.
Yeah, but too much pressure and no Josh Gordon. So they don't really have anybody else to throw to outside of two people.
I know, man. He couldn't smoke weed like another time, dude. Oh, God. But you just said, we were talking about San Francisco, how we're kind of seeing how they're not all that
good,
up, right?
Yeah, they're not. They lost to Atlanta,
right?
Somehow. They basically had their mini Super Bowl against New Orleans.
And you're kind of looking, if you're following this channel and you're looking at our bets, and when we tell you we win our bets, we're not looking at the actual line. Did they actually cover the actual line? We should go based on that. That's how we get our value.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, I kind of feel good about Seattle plus 9.5 at home.
I get it.
San Fran is just, but the thing about this one, the monkey wrench in the gears is that these guys are playing for the bye, right?
San Francisco's playing for the bye and possibly the number 1 seed.
Right. So there is something to be played at this game, but I just think that Russell might pull it off, and you have so much hype for the Skittles man to come back and do some wild, crazy stuff.
Sure.
You know what? Hey, it happens. I didn't think that Adrian Peterson being so old would make a difference. He's been pretty decent, actually.
So right now, the San Francisco 49ers hold the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. So for them, it's win and get in. So I expect them to win this game. Thus, I'm taking San Francisco.
Oh.
Even though the value is not there, I'm expecting them to just win this game. I feel like that's more of a guarantee because there's a chance that Seattle just does not play well, and they could theoretically lose by double digits.
Oof.
There's another side to that in that San Francisco has not been as good since they beat New Orleans because they lost to Atlanta. They were struggling against the Rams last week. So
yeah, that was an
that's the
nail-biter,
contrarian side,
actually.
which is why I understand why you're taking Seattle on that side. But, man, I'm just like, there is no offense on that team outside of Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett now. None.
That's all I need.
If they had J.D. McKissic, I'd like, okay, I'll kind of take this. McKissic is,
Who was the tight end?
Jacob Hollister.
He's not bad. No, wait. There's another one.
It was Will Disley.
Oh, Disley,
It
right?
was Disley, but he's on IR.
Disley? Oh, yeah. He was a good tight end, too.
Yeah,
but.
so I'm taking San Francisco. I'm expecting them to win this game. It could be big, it could be small, but I feel safer with San Francisco.
And I'm going to take the Seahawks still at 9.5, plus 9.5. So, I mean, if we had to pick.
Yeah.
I mean, these lines don't look good at all. I feel like Vegas is all over this because these lines are pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to choose.
All right, here we go. We are going to take our best two and combine it into our best teaser. And I struggled mightily on it. And I mean mightily on this because I had no idea if there was a good side at all. At one point, I had Kansas City and San Francisco because the line looked good at Kansas City at under a field goal and San Francisco at a field goal. I was like, okay, this is good. This looks good. I'll take this. And then I knew the lines were going to move. So I changed my lines. I changed my picks.
Oh.
I changed that. So
Wow.
I felt the shootout at Atlanta. I felt the shootout was going to happen at Atlanta and Tampa Bay. So that's my first. And my second is Washington.
Okay, I like that. You know what, America? I won. Me and Danny won pretty much a lot last week. So I'm going to sleep in. I'm not really gonna watch any of the noon games. I really don't.
Screw that, I am, dude.
I really don't. I really don't care. There's no fantasy.
You do,
There's
man. We gotta
nothing in
make
it
sure.
for me.
We gotta make sure we got our numbers right.
So for me, my games are Houston plus 9.5.
Plus 9.5.
I like that.
That will be if it. Go ahead. I'll tell you something.
And then, if I had to choose one more, well, this is like
the other half.
The no sweat bets, Baltimore. Baltimore plus 8.
That's the other one I'm thinking about now is Baltimore. I may go Baltimore. I may go Baltimore and Washington. They feel really good. Both of those feel really good, and they're both late afternoon games, so I can actually do a stack.
Right? Yeah. So that's my thing. I have not slept in on a Sunday for a long time. Danny, don't you be texting me
I'm gonna
about
text
it.
you, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm texting you.
Well, then if that's the case, then let me take a look at these Nooner games. But you know what?
Deal with that later.
That's still not, my picks aren't changing. My bet for Sunday is Houston plus 9.5 and then Baltimore
plus 8.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a shot at New Orleans minus 7. That's easily could happen. Jets plus 7.5, and then KC at over a field goal. I'll take that.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll wake up, Danny.
You'll wake up and be like, all right, here are your lines.
Okay,
all right, here are your lines. All right, wake me up when it's 2:00, and I'll put my bets in.
I can't go back to sleep when I'm awake. You know that.
I know.
God. So is this like all right?
And Washington money line.
Oh yeah,
Gotta think about that.
That's a thinker.
I'm gonna think about it more and more. God, 425 is I really feel like Washington has a chance to win it and just be like, haha, we screwed y'all so.
America, you have no idea how. He's thinking about this right now. He really is.
I thought about the.
He thought about Green Bay,
the Green Bay money line, which I really should have. I really should have talked myself into.
We should have. Oh man, what's wrong with this?
All you had to say was split it. I'm like, yeah, we're doing it.
Oh.
All you had to say was split.
Don't put it on me, Danny.
Split a unit. Okay, hell yeah, I'm gonna put it on you, dude.
No. Because
we're in this together.
Okay? We are in this together.
We were in all of our bets together, so you couldn't get me together on the Green Bay one, so I got scared.
Danny, we can't be greedy.
I wouldn't be greedy. Dude, if I was greedy, I would have made like $1,000 last week.
Which is, I mean, I didn't make that much, but our numbers weren't the same. We've had the same bets, but
last week felt so good though. I mean, when we did the analysis on it, I was looking at it and it's just like, dude,
back and relax.
Everything was like, this is gonna hit, this is gonna hit, this is gonna hit, this can hit.
Get the green highlighter out.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. I was like, oh man, this is so good.
There were literally no sweat bets.
Yeah, there were a lot of them that hit. I mean, you went 11. You went 12-4. I went 13-3. I missed on 3 games. If I was smart, I wouldn't have taken Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
The Seattle.
I texted Danny about that. I said, "Hey man, what's up with Pittsburgh?"
If you look at last week, the two variable games was the LA Chargers, who shouldn't have lost.
We both lost that one, man.
And
that was
and then
terrible.
the Seattle game was nuts because the Seattle players got hurt. You lost on that, and then it didn't get over. If
I know.
Seattle's
How did
if
you
Seattle's
not get the
players
over?
if Seattle's they were short by 3 points or
That
4
sucks.
points. If Seattle's starters had stayed in, I would have hit the over.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I might have won that bet too. Golly.
No, we probably would have won both of those.
Yeah, but you know what? It's last week was a really good week. This week will be a little tough.
Yeah, this week is really tough. So when you're thinking about week 17, kind of go with where you think the best value is. Andrew probably has the better insight right now on value. I feel like I feel like with over-unders, because I don't always like the teams I'm betting on, especially in week 17 where not all your starters are going to start, then your totals is a little bit where you might feel a little bit safer with totals. At least I do. So that's why I'm moving towards a lot of the overs because, like I said, I've crossed under 40, which is a key number, at least in my view. So a lot of those are very doable, very plausible now. So teasing down under 40 got me there. I mean, there are still some really good ones. Washington plus 17 is really sweet. I expect San Francisco to win by, something. Ooh. I expect them to win in general. Ooh. And then KC I expect to really beat up on the LA Chargers. So all that should work. Baltimore's a great value. That game's going to stay close. Really nice. But outside of everything else, I'm like, man, I don't like either of these teams. Too many variables. Oh, that total looks really good. All right, I'll take the over on it when it teases.
Yep, and I kind of agree with Danny. Sometimes you're just like, man, you're just so unsure. It's like, man, these lines go right to the teeth, And so when you look at overs and unders, that's where you get like, okay, let's see how this defense stacks up with this offense. Like, oh, dude, there's probably going to be a pick six here and there, and then you know what, you'll probably get a garbage one, and then you have this one dominant team that will kind of take you most into the over. So yeah, I can see where this week a lot of Danny's picks were just the total value. And for me, I'm a little more comfortable with team play because sometimes, when you're just waiting, and I absolutely dislike it. You're just waiting for these teams to score, and you're just like watching that clock, and you're just like,
that's
oh my
my
gosh,
thing.
they're not moving the ball at all, man.
Well, that's on over. That's on overs. If you're on the over, you're just like, oh my God, please air the ball out. Please stop running the ball. And if you're on the under, you're like, oh my God, please keep running the ball.
Or it's like stop scoring this.
Stop scoring.
And also, I feel like we didn't really do like due diligence, but some of these teams, some of them are pretty sloppy.
There's a lot of them that are.
I actually kind of wanted to dive back into Cleveland and Cincinnati. I think
why?
Well, I think Cleveland's just an undisciplined team. They
have
a lot of
Freddie
penalties.
Kitchens is your coach. Yeah, it's really undisciplined.
I mean, they make it rain. Make it rain with those yellow flags, man. There are just penalties everywhere, every single
Kitchens
game.
doesn't care.
Yeah, and I think there was another team out there that I want to say had a lot of penalties that just, they're terrible.
I think Tampa Bay does.
Oh, yeah. That's practically, I think that's almost how we won.
Yeah.
And it was an ugly win for the Texans, by the way.
It was. There was a lot of penalties in that game.
Yeah, and there was 4 interceptions. And we still only won by 3 points, which now I'm kind of thinking about my Houston bet. But that's okay. Yeah. It's against Tennessee. We beat them before. We'll do it again. Still sticking with it.
So I'm going to change my overall bets now.
Oh gosh.
Andrew's brought up a really good one.
Oh.
So I'm moving my picks to Baltimore and Washington.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm betting against my Steelers.
What?
Yeah.
Danny. Now I'm scared. I'm always scared when a sharp comes on to my idea or my friend is like, oh yeah.
Why not? All the sharps were on Philly last week. You're like, oh yeah, that's the way to go.
I was genuinely scared. I was just like, there's no way.
I knew that was the pick to go with. I was like, this is easily the pick to go
I was scared. I was just like, wait, the Sharps agreed with me?
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
that's...
way to go. I'm probably going to look into the noon games, but there's a really good chance I'm not going to bet it.
Oh, thank God. Please, just look into it. I'll send your lines, and, hopefully I just won't fall asleep.
All right, Washington, Baltimore, and give me a sprinkle on that little bit of that.
Ooh, little money line. Oh.
I mean, also things are gonna change if Houston plays all their starters. I'm probably gonna bet Houston.
Oh yeah, dude, they're gonna play. Bill O'Brien's I mean,
Yeah.
you're a better coach than Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I know. So it's all about keeping track of your news. Check your lines. The lines are gonna shift again, but values to be had here. You're just gonna have to do a little more analysis about it. Take what we have, move your tasers around, see what works, and then place your bet in, and then that's what's gonna help you find success in week 17, because week 17 is so difficult, even for sharps.
Yeah, and we do the service for our fans.
Yeah.
But hey, if you made money in the noon game, that's.
I mean, you can easily make money in the noon game if
That's
you know
money.
if you know where your money's going to go and you feel secure on it. Yeah, you can make a lot of money on it.
Yep. But yeah, I'm more likely just gonna have a nice
afternoon and just cruise into the 3:25 games.
That's right. That is right.
All right. So right now, are you on Baltimore and Washington?
I'm on Baltimore and Houston.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm on Baltimore and Washington.
But now you're just. Oh, you know what? It's okay for us to be
it's okay
different a little bit. It's okay. That's what happened last week.
It can easily change Sunday. We've changed a lot of it on Sunday because the value changes from Thursday to Sunday. Mm-hmm. So that we're making these bets. We're making these prediction bets based off of where the lines are right now.
Right. You want to tell our fans to like, share, subscribe? It should be. Is it going on the new channel?
Not yet.
Oh well.
This is the last episode that's going onto my channel, and I'm going to move it to the official. I'm going to move the playoffs to the official channel. So
playoffs football.
Look forward to the playoffs. Fewer games, thus we're going to be getting into a little more detail of the actual numbers, individual numbers.
More consistently good teams that we can expect a lot from.
And the playoffs are variables in their own right. So matchups are going to be a key thing, players and all that. So we're going to be a little more in depth. We're going to try to be a little more in depth for the playoffs. But for now, week 17 is coming in 2 days. And for Andrew Chang, I'm Daniel Saludo, teasing the NFL here. Week 17, keep an eye on everything. But remember that teasing is good for you.